We had actually done a trip as a family to Vietnam. Andrea does international development work, so it was part of a business trip for her. I knew that there was something wrong when we went on our typical hike, and usually I'm the last one of the pack, and Andrea was actually the last one of the pack, or Andrea was the most tired at the end of the day, which is never the case. The prognosis was not good, stage 4, so Andrea had cancer in her hip and through her bowel, and she had a spot in her brain. For anyone who has just received a diagnosis for their spouse or loved one, and they're going to be the lead caregiver, my advice is to, number 1, take a deep breath. Number 2 is to focus on the possibilities rather than the probabilities, because there's so much change taking place in cancer treatment that the probabilities are literally changing as the days and weeks go by. So there's very, very good reason to be hopeful, and access to the latest treatment is so important. Even if you head down some wrong turns along the way, it is a period where we're literally moving from cancer being a terminal illness to a chronic illness. The research that has for years and years has been funded through organizations like this have led to a different experience than we would have anticipated once we got that diagnosis early on. What the prognosis of lung cancer meant when we got it versus what it might be today for somebody, because there were no support groups for lung cancer because people didn't survive lung cancer. Andrea's been off treatment for over a year now, and she's back at full weight, and she has a lot of her former energy, but she needs to be careful, of course. And there are people who are out of that original research group that are like 8 or 10 years out. So we're very hopeful about Andrea's prognosis. She does have some side effects. She's taking half the load when it comes to running kids around to sports, and we're kind of normalized again around what the rare situations where we do need to make exceptions for her health right now. I just like to label this as the biggest comeback story in all time. So we're just working on putting that together so that at its end, it will all appear as a work of art.